Hey there, No DQ Galaxy. I am Stephen Osborne, the Wizard of No DQ, here as always with the General Jerry Slaughter, and we're here to bring you what's NXT for the week of November 7th. And Jerry, what was NXT this week?
Oh, we had 3 fantastic matches. We had some great video packages as per usual because nobody puts them on like NXT. Simple as that. And a couple of interviews, but like we also got to finally hear from Gargano, and that was magical. But we'll get to that in just a little bit.
Well, technically, we got to hear from 2 Garganos.
Oh yeah,
a Gargano and a LeRae.
Mm-hmm.
But we will get to all of that. First and foremost, I want to remind everybody that tomorrow we will be reviewing NXT UK and what we like to call our NXT party. And again, this week we will have our guest, Cindy G, No DQ's very own. Cindy will be helping us review both episodes from today. Let's see, that's episode 5 and episode 6.
Yep.
So they're continuing with the format of 2 episodes every Wednesday. So we will continue with our format of reviewing both hours in 1 episode and trying to keep it as short as possible. But again, Cindy will be with us next week or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next week we will be having Owen Finch will be joining us to review that week's probably 2 episodes of NXT UK. And if you would like to join us for our next NXT party after Owen, you can get a hold of me on Twitter at Stephen R. Osborne. And just let me know that you want to be on the show, and that's what Owen did.
We'll make it happen.
And we're gonna get him on the show next week. But tomorrow, as I said, Cindy will be here, and we will be reviewing episodes 5 and episode 6 of NXT UK. But on to NXT. Tonight's show was surprisingly very good for the few matches that we got.
Yep. Started off with a very strong tag match between Heavy Machinery and the Forgotten Sons. So I hadn't gotten to see Heavy Machinery in action. I'd only seen Otis Dosovich against Pete. No, it wasn't.
It was Otis versus Ciampa.
Ciampa, that's right. It was the premiere episode of,
It was one of our first episodes, I believe.
It was a premiere episode of What's NXT.
Oh, shout out to the old one.
Way back there in the
background. Somewhere back there, right about here, is the premiere episode of What's NXT. Yes, we are continuing with the format. We don't have a logo yet to put behind us. We might start with that logo and then do the format again. Who knows? But yeah, this was. We didn't know this match was going to happen. It's one of those where you just go into the show and it's starting the show, and so we have Heavy Machinery come out.
I was actually very happy to see Heavy Machinery in action because I'd seen Otis and was super impressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, but I hadn't seen Tucker Knight wrestle. Yeah. So, and I heard good things about the team, so I was actually really excited to see that. And then we have the Forgotten Sons come out as well, and
who you have gotten to see in many incarnations.
Yes, we've gotten to see them with Jackson Riker, and then we have but this time it was just Cutler and Blake, and both teams really impressive in this match.
Very impressive. It was a great match with a lot of great spots. I didn't write any of them down. Is there anyone that sticks out in your mind?
A short arm clothesline from I think it was
No, it was it wasn't Dosovich. It was
Tucker.
Tucker Knight.
Just turning Cutler.
It wasn't even a short arm. He had no momentum going in. He just was standing there. He went for a left arm, either clothesline or a clubbing blow. That which one was it? Cutler, maybe?
Yeah, it was Cutler, I believe.
Ducked out of the way.
Oh, yeah, because Cutler sells like crazy.
And then he came with his right and just clobbered him in like a clubbing clothesline. It was amazing looking. The end of the match saw several near falls at maybe 2 or 3 times per team. Looked like they were going to win this match until somebody either kicked out or somebody...
It could have gone either way. It really could have.
Now, we thought we were going to see Jackson Riker get involved in this match, but really, he mostly stayed out of the match, and you only really saw his involvement when he was ostensibly taken out, just to keep him from maybe getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
And the finish saw the war, not the War Machine, Heavy Machinery. We had a conversation earlier tonight about War Machine changing their name to the War Raiders because you had Heavy Machinery, and I'm like, good, I'm glad, because this team is friggin' awesome. And,
I still actually rank them over the War Raiders
at this point. From what I've seen, because I've seen actually probably 4 or 5 more matches from Heavy Machinery than you have.
Yeah.
And that's not saying much, but it's weird how they don't look like they have a lot of personality. And when they get on the mic, I think Dozovic has the most. But in the ring, they're so fluid as a tag team, and they actually have that personality that comes from doing the moves.
Yep, you even had Dozovic breaking out with the worm. I mean, you don't really see that. And then like the matches that we've actually watched with the War Raiders or anybody involving them, you kind of seem like you tune out every now and then. But then there was a spot where Tucker Knight came off the top rope with a cannonball senton. And,
oh yeah.
So that was one of those situations where it's like, wow, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do a cannonball off the top rope. Senton, yeah, a seated senton even, but he does a cannonball, which primarily is a big guy move. Yeah. It's something that you can do low and look like, you're doing athletic.
Like with somebody down in the corner, you really don't see the cannonball come from overhead and
off the top rope to a standing opponent, and it was pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of Heavy Machinery, even though half the time I get them mixed up with the War Raiders. But yeah, with the War Raiders, they're big brutes. Mm-hmm. They're powerful, serious faces.
They're very meat and potatoes.
Yeah, so it's kind of easy to tune out sometimes to that because you're so used to seeing it. But Dozovic alone is so entertaining in the ring with his personality. And the best way I can put an example to this in the flip side is with Elias.
Yeah,
Elias is so entertaining in the ring on the mic with a guitar on a stool. But when he's in the ring facing an opponent in a match, his personality really doesn't come out in the way he wrestles.
Yeah.
Like, he has no personality as a wrestler. He just has all the personality in the world as an entertainer.
He plays him completely separate. He's got like the out-ring persona or the promo persona, and then he's got his in-ring, which is super serious, and there's really no flash to it.
And I think maybe he's protecting himself because he feels like if he doesn't stay serious, at least in the ring, then he's going to become a comedy gimmick.
Yes.
And as a comedy gimmick, you don't win the world championship.
But we were having that discussion too, is the fact that like a lot of mind games being played by wrestlers lately, whether it be just their persona, the way they dress, whatever, just to throw their opponents off. If he can infuriate them with song and make them lose their game and use his wrestling ability to counteract that, that's cool. But at the same time, like, he's got to show elements of himself or like that persona to keep things fresh and keep the fans interested.
Or like we're going to talk about later, where his look might lower the expectation that his opponent has in him.
Yep.
And get beat because he wasn't expecting such a good opponent because they look so weird or feminine in this case. And we will talk about that for the main event, final match.
But the finish, you actually had to rewind because it was so impressive from Dozovic with the what was it, the gorilla?
It's like a pop up
World's Strongest
Slam. Yeah, and
flawless. It was flawless. It was like it was just a great power move and a great finish to a match that could, like, you would think the numbers game would come into play with the Forgotten Sons having 3 members and the Heavy Machinery only having 2, but strangely enough, Riker stayed out of the match and just kind of, like, he got taken out towards the end, but he wasn't really a factor. So and they all just had that leering match at the end, just showing that this feud isn't over with. And I'm glad, because I actually do want to see another, maybe, incarnation of the Forgotten Sons going at Heavy Machinery again, or another person being added into the match to make it a 6-man tag.
Or Riker versus Dozovic.
Oh, Riker versus Dozovic would be perfect.
Because one of the things I liked about this match was at least one or two of the near falls that we saw were single person moves.
Yes.
One, not a tag, because we saw several awesome tag team moves that should have ended in a pinfall, but didn't. One of them, I think, it was not Knight.
Yeah.
Knight kicked out of what should have been the finish to the match, but on one of them, I think it was Dozovic, managed to break up the pinfall.
Yeah.
But a couple of these near falls were single person moves, and sometimes you forget in a tag situation, especially when they're as good as they are together as these two teams were, you forget that you can do your singles finisher. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that was Dozovic's singles finishing move, but that pop-up power slam, or strongest slam,
it was effective.
Was awesome looking, and he got a win off of just him doing a move.
And with Mark Henry retiring and everything, if he gets that call up, that could be almost like, I'd say it's almost be like a gimmick for him, because like he's got the power moves, he's got the personality, he could be like, everything that the WWE wanted Mark Henry to be, never really processed it.
But in the WWE main roster, he's going to look like he's 4'7".
Yeah.
So that could be a problem, because he's probably more like 5'11" or 6'1" or some shit, but he looks like he's small compared to all the other guys that are 6'4" and above.
Yeah. That
are actually taller than you. This man is a giant, by the way.
But it's going to play nicely to the not really smaller people in the crowd or whatnot, but the fact that you had this littler guy just picking up these massive individuals like they're just like.
Well, none of the Forgotten Sons are massive enough for it to look like it's impressive. And I doubt he's even close to the world's strongest man.
Which means when he does start picking up these other big dudes, it's going to be even.
Yeah, but do we know if he can? I'm not sure that I know that he can.
I think he can.
But I would love to see the War Raiders versus Heavy Machinery to see if he can pull off some of those power moves against the likes of the War Raiders. Notice I didn't go for their singles names.
Yeah,
great match to start the show.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
We had a great match to sandwich the middle of the show, and we had a great match to end the show with. But first, what are the chances that we get another video package?
Oh, very, very high.
But no. It wasn't really a video package. It was just
it was Candice LeRae showing up.
Yeah, outside.
Yeah,
which was a little weird.
She was outside of the performance center. Yeah, going in because she was gonna talk to William Regal. Actually, more or less plead William Regal for a match with Nikki Cross.
No, was this Kathy Kelly that was trying to get a word with her?
Yeah, she was all over the place this episode. It seems like she had a different outfit each time.
Yeah, it's almost like she was doing these interviews on different days of the week.
Yeah.
So
we know nothing about different outfits.
She, like everybody else, wants to know something from Candice LeRae about what her husband Johnny Gargano is getting on with
and she takes it as a personal assault.
Kinda.
It's like I'm not here to talk about my marriage. I'm not here to talk about what me and Johnny talk about. I'm here to talk about my getting a match with Nikki Cross.
Yeah, that's
nobody
all she
asked that.
Yeah,
they're asking. She was asking her intentions or Johnny's intentions on attacking Alistair, and she just completely ducked the weed around the conversation.
Now you know what? Left. I could be mad about that. But we get word from Johnny Gargano himself later.
Yes.
And he fills in the blanks. That's all I can say. And it's really fun to watch. But we'll get there. essentially, Candice LeRae is going to go and find Regal and ask for a match with Nikki Cross, because she apparently takes offense to Nikki Cross, like it was Nikki Cross's fault that Johnny Gargano attacked Aleister Black.
Yeah. Or the fact that, Aleister Black actually knows is all Nikki Cross's fault now, naturally. So.
Well, I mean, he was going to find out one way or the other, and and Johnny Gargano super kicked him anyway. Like, what if he didn't do it? Then, but he did it, and he admits to doing it. Well, as if super kicking him and saying "I'm here" wasn't enough. We get the full scoop. That was the next sort of segment, a graphic, whatever. We're going to get Johnny Gargano. I almost kind of wish that had been the main event.
Well, that actually probably would have been, but the wrap-up of the show was just so brilliantly executed that, I was like, okay, this had to be the main event. And I'm glad they put Gargano where they put him. Otherwise, it would have kind of... It kept the show moving, is what it did.
And so far, not a video package. Not a video package to be found. Instead, we get another interview with Kathy Kelly. Yep. Of course, in a different outfit, I'm pretty sure. Yep. With Shayna Baszler and her crew. Yep. The other two of the 4 horsemen of MMA. Let's see if I can get these names without, because I don't have them written down. I'm probably.
I got one on another page, but we're going to go ahead and just keep on moving.
We're going to keep on moving. So, she wants to know her thoughts because Kairi Sane has invoked her rematch for the NXT Women's Championship. And Baszler basically says she doesn't deserve it. Of course, she's a heel, whatever. And Regal comes in and says, well, regardless of what you think, she's getting the match. And she looks offended and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, War Games, we're going to have the rematch. And
it's going to be 2 out of 3 falls.
Now, Baszler mentions that she's the first ever 2-time NXT Women's Championship. And if she starts saying that a lot, well, I guess we only have one more week before War Games. But she says that again next week. I can almost see Kairi Sane winning it just so she can be like, well, I'm the first 2-time. And then Baszler gets called, or the second 2-time. And you're not the only one. And then Baszler gets called up.
It's like I just beat the first ever 2-time world champion
to become the second ever 2-time. So maybe, but we'll get into that when we do predictions for NXT. We're probably also going to do, and actually we are going to, if so long as we can, we're going to watch NXT TakeOver live. If not, we're going to watch it after the fact. Either way, we're going to record a review video. So we are going to review NXT.
Of course.
TakeOver.
Don't worry, we got you covered.
LA. Speaking of LA, if you are in the LA area and you're going to go to NXT and or Survivor Series, there is a No DQ meetup, and you can go to nodq.com/LA to RSVP for that meetup. In the meantime, we find
more chicks.
Well, I wanted to mention that match between Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane is going to be 2 out of 3 falls.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting. I look forward to that. Onwards and upwards to Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
So not a video package between the first and the second matches. I'm a happy camper, even though, of course, NXT video packages are the best video packages.
Yes,
but when everybody gets a video package, it still kind of brings down the value of all of their video packages.
It kind of takes away, like, I won't say it takes away momentum from the show, but it also, it's like, okay, we need another match now. So
this match was great too. I actually have a note other than the fall of the match, on a move. Dakota Kai versus Tainara Conti, and they pronounced it Conchi. And I'm like, well, if that's how you're going to pronounce it, why don't you just spell her name that way so it's not so oddly irritating to look at it and read it and say Conti. And
well, that's what I say. It's the same way with Ciampa. You want to say
Ciampa. And we'll get into that. We're going to get into that because we have some ideas for Ciampa. And hopefully he's watching and he's like, that's a great idea. So anyway, I've got Conchi with a standing bicycle kick to Dakota Kai while she's in the prone position, like
that's the same one I wrote down because that was a vicious kick.
Wow!
Conchi actually throws some pretty wicked looking kicks. And she makes it very well known to start a match. She's black belt.
Yeah, yeah, she's got a black belt on. She's got something on under it, but she takes it off through the black belt, so that the black belt stays on. But I believe that there is the same kind of stigma with a black belt, or really any belt, in most martial arts. Kind of like people have with flags, where they're not allowed to touch the ground. You know, you respect them in such a way. So yeah, she takes it off and then hands it to the. I think she hands it to the ref.
She did.
To hand out.
She actually held it up first, and then she folded it up very nicely and handed it to the referee.
Yeah, she still lost. She put up a great match. Looked great. Both of them looked great. I don't believe any of these matches were really, well, of course the main event, but all of these matches were showcase matches. We didn't have any enhancement matches because even though the Heavy Machinery, who has been in NXT longer as a tag team than the Forgotten Sons, won, I don't believe the Forgotten Sons were in any way, shape, or form enhancement talent for them.
No, they weren't. That's something else I noticed about it too, because I know she walked into this match and it's like, oh great, so at least we had different, enhancement talent this week, because it seems like we're getting recycled the same people over and over again that are losing, especially on NXT UK at this point.
Yeah, we had, but even on regular NXT, I'm looking back at the notes, we had 2 enhancement matches on last week's show.
Oh.
There was 2 showcase matches, 2 enhancement matches, and one that would have been an awesome main event had it not been interrupted by everybody brawling and then it getting war games made, the 4-on-4 that I hate. But I'm starting to warm up to, because it is the original style. Now, if God forbid they do something different, but if they stay with the 4-on-4, I'm okay with it. Yeah. Just consider the first time around special circumstances for a 3-on-3-on-3. And from now on, it's just 4-on-4. And I will warm up to the idea. But that's getting off topic. Back to the Dakota Kai with a beautiful Kai DeGraw. We gave her shit. I don't remember if it was on NXT UK. I don't remember if it was on NXT. But she executed... It was NXT UK.
Yeah.
She executed a Kai DeGraw that looked so bad that they had to cut cameras, and it looked like they redid the move and just canceled out all the footage in between.
Yeah.
This looked great.
Yeah, it was...
That move looked awesome.
Yes, maybe it was just the way it was actually taken, or maybe it was just, the stars aligned or whatnot, but...
No, I think you're right. It was how Tainara Conchi, I don't know which name to call her. They're both so hard to say.
Conchi will work.
She took the move, or sold the move, perfectly, and that wraps up an awesome match. And
I'm actually looking forward to seeing Conchi again. She actually had, granted, her personality a little bit there was kind of, aggravating, but at the same time, it was also the fact that she's really playing up the heel.
I think I've seen her in the Mae Young Classic, at least one of them. I can't remember if it was this year or last year, maybe both of them. And I think I've seen her in NXT before, and she's great, even though she's basically enhancement talent. In this match, it didn't look like she was enhancement talent, though.
We're building at this point Dakota Kai into a solid face.
Oh yeah,
she completely plays. She doesn't really play to a crowd, but the crowd is solidly behind her. She's very much like I said, like Bayley at this point.
Less exuberant, but...
Less exuberant. I think they're downplaying that. Like I said, I think they're trying to perfect where Bayley kind of went wrong. She's really over the top and...
A hugger.
A hugger and super colorful.
A violent hugger.
And yet, we're living in a society now where everybody's got this bubble. It's like, don't hug me.
Yeah, don't touch me, don't hug me. Sure, I love you, but stay over there.
Yeah, so she's got this colorfulness to her. She's got the wrestling ability. She's got the connection with the crowd. She's got a really cool denim jacket that she added to her outfit.
She looks like an underdog, but wrestles like a champion.
She's definitely on her way, is what she is, and I think she's going to be a really strong asset when she gets moved up. But right now, I could actually see her being NXT Women's Champion not very long, not too long from now.
Well, she's already had one shot at it, but if Kairi Sane wins the title back and Baszler goes away, I could see her easily falling into the title picture. What I noticed is just change, and just it was a little change. But when she did the paint wash in the corner, instead of going from the standing position, well, her opponent being in the standing position, in this case, Conchi, Conchi was seated in the corner, and she did the paint wash first, or face wash, and then Conchi slowly stood up.
Even Nigel said it was like a grazing one. It was more or less just to get
a glancing blow to wake her up, just to smack to the face with the heel of my foot.
Yep. That's the way you do it, though.
You smack to the face.
It's like what just happened?
It would probably sounded great if Matt Riddle did it with his shoes off. Riddle. We get a little bit of Riddle later, but we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm a big fan. I wasn't a huge fan of Dakota Kai the first several times I saw her, but I'm getting.
We're warming up to her very, very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. That's the term for it. Warming up to her. So next we had an interview backstage with Mia Kim.
Mia.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, she's got the fucking.
She looks like she still got that whole Gail.
Well, she uses the eat defeat.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get Mia Yim, who refers to herself as the HBIC, which we find out later. I think this was the only part of the show that you didn't like. The only part of the show that you didn't like.
Because what would you think HBIC stood for? Seriously. But then, sure enough, she says head, baddie, in charge.
Baddie in charge. If you're gonna say baddie instead of bitch, how about just don't use the phrase?
It's like you just change B.
HCIC, head chick in charge. Not
actually,
broad. I'm the head broad in charge.
Yeah, but baddie.
Baddie, no, we're not a fan of that. Hopefully, they get rid of that quick.
Especially if you're supposed to be building yourself to the face, which is why at this point you're supposed to be doing, because right in the middle of her talking.
Just HW, head woman in charge. Yeah. There you go.
Right in the middle of her talking, naturally we have Bianca Belair just kind of interject.
Just twirling her hair.
Just pretty much saying.
And not the way you think. Just like Indiana Jones bullwhip, just twirling her hair.
She comes in, pretty much tells Mia, you haven't proven anything. You're just flash in the pan. You've been here one match. What? I've been here and I'm undefeated. And
well, no, and then she chews her gum. Duh. And she says duh like. Anyway, she's supposed to be the best, and apparently she was really good in school, so she knows duh is not the way to say it, and it sounds really garbage.
Yeah.
And I guess she's supposed to say it that way. That poor girl.
Yeah.
And then chews her gum. Fee, then chews her gum. Ted.
Yes.
I was a little annoyed by this, but I think annoyed in just the right way.
I think that's
what. Is she supposed to be a face? I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be the obnoxiousness to it. Like if the crowd started chanting with her, she'd pull some rock type shit where she's like, "This isn't sing along with Bianca."
Look, if they're going for cocky heel, I'm behind it, because I was really annoyed by the way she did that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is kind of her gimmick to get jealous when people get interviews when she thinks she should be interviewed.
Yeah.
When most of her best stuff comes from, just a peeping Tom guy with the camera that wants to catch an interview with William Regal. She's just back there fucking being a mean person to him.
Yeah.
And demanding basically she wants a women's championship match, and she's going to do it in this case by, I guess, starting a feud with Mia Yim.
Yeah. Well, Mia Yim's pretty well established in her own right, and a victory over her would prove great, but at the same time, there's plenty of talented women, in NXT. I think just Mia Yim just coming hot off the heels of her impressive debut for them on that show is Like, she wants to strike the iron while it's hot and cool it off. And
well, she wants to be the second person to defeat Mia Yim.
yeah.
So. I don't know about that. It's just, if she wants an NXT Women's Championship match, she should be like breaking into Shayna Baszler's locker room and getting beat down by. God, I want to remember their names. Hopefully, before this episode is up, I will remember their names. It's going to come out randomly, but I don't care. Anyway, so next we had Matt Riddle and Keith Lee, and I guess they're bros.
They're bros. And, well, is it... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just say this real quick. We're just going to touch on it a little bit. I am not excited about the Ono-Riddle feud at this point. I know they're building towards it. I know it's been talked about, especially like when Ono made his appearance and talked to Regal about, Riddle coming into the company soon and how he's his new golden boy and refers to him as Toy in this segment. We'll get to that in a second. But the fact that, like, their styles differentiate so much, and the fact that Chris Hero, or I still call him Chris Hero, because he's still Chris Hero to me, even though he looks like he ate Chris Hero.
He ate too many heroes.
Yeah, he ate too many heroes.
And this coming from a couple of fat guys, but still, we're not trying to be wrestlers. I wouldn't try to be a wrestler with this body, even though Kevin Owens does it amazingly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I look like Kevin Owens.
He's been conditioned to do it for years. But
he's got that cardio, man. Fat guy cardio.
You have to really watch some more of like his Chris Hero's older matches. He was just from just a couple of years ago. To truly appreciate what he used to be, but versus like what we saw this past week, which was just not a great match out of him. I don't think he didn't look impressive. He didn't really do anything impressive. It was a very forgettable match,
and he was being fed a jobber essentially.
Yeah, and it just wasn't that fun. And
it was a forgettable match.
Completely. But yeah, we have.
I had forgotten about it. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, we have Keith Lee and Matt Riddle just talking about how great they are, or how awesome Matt Riddle's debut was.
Well, you make it sound like they're like heel talking about it. Like, no, they're like man, that was great. I love you, man.
Bask in your glory. Woo!
Woo! And then there's Cassius Ohno. And he's like, oh, look, there's...
Just throws cold water on their entire conversation.
He's going to rain on their parade. And they are William Regal's new toys.
Yeah.
Because Keith Lee only debuted, a few months ago, and now Matt Riddle has just debuted, and Ono apparently has something against the new guys, as we have seen play out over the weeks.
I think he's just takes offense to any rookies pretty much making any kind of bragging, but at the same time, yeah, he says he enjoys he enjoys new toys coming in because he likes to break them.
Yep, he likes to break them, and that's pretty much.
And after that, he walks away. He's after saying his piece, and they both say each other's catchphrases, which automatically brought to mind this. I'm like, they'd be a perfect tag team.
Yeah,
Riddle and Lee. They would actually be very, very well together, because you have Riddle, who's got that laid-back surfer attitude, but he's got more strikes than submissions. And you got Lee, who's more of a power wrestler, but he's got way more personality than Riddle at this point. But the two of them together, I think they'd meld well, and I think they'd be actually very successful. But right now, I can honestly say the Ono-Riddle feud isn't exciting me at this point.
Well, as I said, of course we talk about this stuff while we watch. Ono and Riddle are such a different style that I'm not sure that they would mesh well in the ring, and I don't know if the fact that Ono's sporting a dad body. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got kids because he's wrestling with a dad bod. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the dad bod.
No.
But I'm not sure that Matt Riddle would be able to do a lot of his more impressive moves with Ono. Even if they do, Ono is just, he seems to be like, his personality is just cooling down everything.
Yeah.
Like, it was cooling down this segment. I was kind of, okay. You know, you've got Keith Lee and you've got Matt Riddle, and they're bros. And then he kind of just cooled down the segment. He had sort of a burn line, you know, like he was going to break them because they're toys or whatever. But then what excited me again was when you mentioned, yeah, they'd make a great tag team. And I'm like, fuck yeah, they'd make a great tag team. Mm-hmm. Maybe in a few months, develop them as single stars, then put them together as a tag team. Love to see it. You mentioned against the Undisputed Era. I'd love to see it against the War Raiders or Heavy Machinery.
That's what generates a great tag team is the fact that you could see them put into these different kind of matches with these different tag teams, and either them bringing out the best in them or the other team bringing out the best in them. But either way, a fantastic match. When you could say that about two wrestlers being combined into one team without them actually teaming, you already have something special right there.
So, up to this point, we have had no video packages at all.
None.
And this is NXT. We are 2/3 through this show, and not one video package. You want to know why? Because up next we have the video package of all motherfucking video packages.
Yes, this was wonderful.
This was a video package for the War Games match. That's going to be the match with the Undisputed Era. Let's see if I get all these right. We've got Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong versus Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and the War Raiders of Hanson and Rowe. I didn't even try to go for their first names with their last ones, but I remembered Hanson because he's got hair.
Hanson has hair.
Hanson and Rowe. it just came to me just at that moment. So, this was a hell of a fucking video package.
Yes. Well, you expect the video package to be nothing but just random clips and whatnot. No. They are very precise on this. They should have the right, right background music to it. They had new interviews intertwined into it. They had
the right layers of the quotes from different video interviews or matches or whatever from wrestlers.
It was a beautiful timeline. It was like watching an Avengers movie, more or less, getting put together.
And you pointed out that there was a new interview for both teams.
Yes.
Interspersed within this long, probably. I don't remember how long. I do remember that I didn't notice how long it was.
I was about to say, the usual video package is only about not even 2 minutes long. This one had to be almost 5.
4 or 5 easy.
Yeah, because
they went through the whole, like he said, the whole timeline from where any of this got started.
I was about to say they took it back to the War Games, I'm guessing, of last year.
Yeah, where the Undisputed Era won.
Yes, they had to make it well known that this isn't their first rodeo. This is like the Undisputed Era's home. More or less.
They showed Roderick Strong turning on Pete Dunne so that the Undisputed Era retained the tag titles. So therefore, the formation of the 4 group all the way up until going 100%. Now we've got Bobby Fish.
Yeah. Like I said, it felt like almost like watching like a Marvel timeline because you almost had everybody being incorporated into the match and why they were there, why they were important, and how they got involved in this whole mess.
And why this match is important to them, because we have Pete Dunne explaining that the only reason he's in this match is because the Undisputed Era keeps coming at him with the numbers game.
Yes.
They want to take him out for whatever reason, I guess because he's got the UK Championship, and he's got a piece of gold that they could possibly take.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have to think, at one point, you had Bobby Fish just more or less holding a trophy. You had Adam Cole with the North American title, and you had Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly with the tag belts.
Well, yeah, Pete Dunne did, put himself in the situation for the North American Championship. You did have him with Mustache Mountain in a loose, and I don't believe you saw any of this, but in a loose pairing of the 3 against the Undisputed Era. So there's been these ties for a while, and he's right. They always come at him with the numbers game, and this time there is no numbers advantage.
Yeah.
Now, they said there is no numbers game, but in a match like War Games, it's always a numbers game. It's just not a numbers advantage for the entire match. We do, however, get a numbers advantage, and we find out later exactly the details on this that help us get a little bit excited for next week. We'll get to that.
Yep.
But yeah, great video package, and I wouldn't say by this point I was itching for, like, I wasn't jonesing for a video package.
I actually had to ask you at this point, like, what do you consider to be the main event now for War Games? Because we have the actual War Games match. We have Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano, and we also have Velveteen Dream versus Ciampa, and
which is an afterthought at this point.
Yeah, which is
why I said the NXT Championship is going to be mid card. It's going to go NXT Championship. Probably, to me, it's going to go, the championship is going to go War Games as the pre-main event, and then the main event is going to be the blood feud between Gargano and Black.
But
this is NXT. They don't always go with a title match last. If there's a blood feud, that's always main event.
But that's like my way of thinking was kind of mixed up in that sense too, where I think if it's War Games, it needs to be the main event, kind of like Hell in a Cell or anything like, or the Royal Rumble even. Have that be the last match. Have that be the main event.
Now I don't remember if War Games. I think War Games was the main event last year. I don't remember though, but I don't think it should be, because I think last year, I think it was the main event, and it had the most storyline feud behind it. And granted, when you take it all the way back to the beginning, all the way back to last year's War Games, and probably a little bit before there, yeah, it does have a longer timeline. But as far as blood feuds go, it's got to be Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black.
Yeah, so I didn't have that way of thinking until the next segment, which I'm going to say right now is quite possibly one of the greatest feelings in the entire world watching this. If you haven't got,
because he was right, folks. He was right.
There's a fine line between being right and absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And this was beautiful because we finally get the video answer that we've been waiting for from Johnny Gargano about why he attacked Aleister Black.
Well, hey, I was correct on one point. I said when we first see Johnny Gargano, he's not going to be in an NXT ring.
No.
He's going to be on camera. I thought he was going to be at home.
Yeah.
I thought this was a home video.
I thought he was going to be at home too, or at least some sort of undisclosed location. He was not going to be anywhere in the ring or anywhere Aleister Black could find him.
Right.
Which made the segment even crazier, I think.
Well, technically speaking, Aleister Black could have found him where he was. Where he was outside of Full Sail. He was out in the parking lot in the spot, essentially, where he attacked
first it just showed him walking down, like what felt like down a trail, maybe even a track even, like just with a cell phone, just taking a selfie video.
Well, there were some blue lights. I knew, there was buildings around.
Yeah.
I didn't think, though, that he was at Full Sail until he basically revealed it, but
yeah, it
looks like a home video. It's self-taken, selfie, whatever you want to call it, I guess on his phone, but it looks really good.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like your typical, Instagram or tweet video.
So he basically goes into what I've been saying since the reveal actually happened, is he says that Aleister Black says that he's on a path. And Johnny Gargano is on a path as well. He's the one that's supposed to beat Ciampa for the belt. He's the one that's supposed to, usher in almost like a new era for NXT and whatnot. He is completely delusional, folks, and is wonderful. But at the same time, he's making it sound like Aleister Black is more or less the victim of circumstance. He was the champion that was standing in the way of him actually, taking the belt.
He did what he had to do.
Yeah, he did what he felt was best for everybody. Everybody sees him as evil because
he was
of
just
one
trying to be
action.
the hero everybody wanted him to be.
Yeah,
and he is. And that was you hit the nail on the head with the one word that I would use to describe this promo, I don't know.
Delusional.
Delusional. He is complete. Johnny Wrestling is completely delusional.
Yes.
He believes he's still the good guy when the crowd will tell you differently.
He's gone very Thanos with this whole thing. But instead of snaps, he delivers super kicks.
So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm glad that they didn't try and hold this out for a few weeks or give us a partial answer or a bullshit answer even. You know, this sounded genuine. He genuinely sounds fucking delusional.
And the greatest part is, like you said, he finally sits down and he's right at the part where where he attacked Aleister Black, which is a direct slap in the face right there. It makes the I'm right here after the super kick feel like almost like an afterthought. Is the fact that he had the balls to go back there, sit right back where like he laid Aleister Black out, and tell him it showed that he's like sitting right there.
Well, it completely feeds into the delusional part of it, because if he really is Machiavellian about it, where Aleister Black is just a victim of circumstance, he happened to be the champ that was in the way of Johnny Gargano fulfilling his superhero dream.
Yep.
Then he wouldn't be.
It's like what would.
Well,
like,
first of all, he wouldn't be super kicking Aleister Black, from behind.
Yeah.
And second of all, like you said, a slap to the face.
Yes.
He wouldn't be doing this promo and deliberately showing and stating that this is the spot that I attacked you.
Yep.
Like, he's completely fucking. Well, but this is good. I like this.
I like the fact that Gargano at the end said it's like I'm in a dark place right now, but I'm starting to enjoy it. And that just says to me this heel turn's not going away in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, he's wearing black. Candice LeRae's wearing black lipstick.
So
whatever. I like it.
And
the Johnny Dark Wrestling.
It's showing that more and more that Ciampa had nothing really to do with the attack in any way, shape, or form. Naturally, this was all Gargano. This is all his way of thinking.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, or maybe yesterday, about Johnny Gargano and what his relationship with Ciampa would be, or going forward, and I said, well, it can only go back so far, because when he attacked Aleister, like, he couldn't have been in cahoots with Ciampa over the attack with Aleister Black because of the match they had after the attack.
Yeah,
like, they beat the hell out of each other. So they weren't in cahoots. Maybe after the fact they could get in cahoots, but at this point, I don't think they have a very loose connection in their history, and that's about it.
Yeah. So, but that just makes it even solidified it even more for me that this actually does have to be the main event for the pay-per-view for the War Games. So. I guess they're going to, like you said, probably lift the cage up and have the match for those two. But at the same time, this triple main event's going to be insane. Because that's what it is to me, is a triple main event. Any three of these matches could easily be a main event for...
Well, you're going to have Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane in a 2 out of 3 falls. You don't think that's going to be...
That alone's going to be another great one, too. Yeah.
What is the other match going to be? Like, I can't even think about what the match... Most of the titles you've got taken up in other matches anyway.
Yeah.
You can't have the UK Championship defended. You can't have the tag titles defended. What other feuds are going... You think you'll have Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno?
I don't think we have enough time to build to it just yet. I think we're maybe like a week, maybe 2 away from TakeOver at this.
So we've got 4 matches for sure, but what would be the 5th? Maybe it's only going to be 4 matches. Maybe that's all they need.
No, I think they'll have at least not really a filler match, but. So, like, maybe even something from NXT UK will actually, like, showcase match from them.
That would be cool.
And then possibly, since we didn't get a payoff for it in any way, shape, or form, maybe that will be Nikki Cross's last stand in NXT, and she'll go against Candice LeRae.
There you go. I'd like to see that match.
May make it like even it can't be a loser leaves because
If
we've
that
already
happens,
seen our
let me tell you, if that happens, you might see the NXT takeover start with the NXT Championship match. I hate to say it, but I don't think after the success, and I say success loosely because I don't know the numbers. I just know what I saw, and it was a phenomenal pay-per-view. Evolution, after the success of Evolution, I don't think you start NXT takeover with 2 women's matches, like you're getting them out of the way to have the next 4.
Yeah.
Or the next 3. I apologize. So I would say you'd see the NXT Championship match. Then you would see the non-title match between, who did you say? Was it Bianca Belair?
Yeah.
And Nikki Cross. Yeah, that would be the third match.
Oh, Nikki Cross versus Candice LeRae.
Oh, I'd rather see Bianca Belair.
But
finally get a definitive ending for that. Have Bianca Belair win. Stay undefeated.
Yeah, that would be great.
And
but
then,
I think that feud's over with. I really do. Which sucks because there wasn't a definitive ending to it because she faded into glitter and Aleister Black was sitting in her place.
Yeah, but that's the match that I would like to see. I would like to see, so the NXT Championship, we'll have that match. Then you have the Women's Championship match, and then you have NXT War Games match, and then you have the blood feud between Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano.
So, pretty much right after the Gargano match, we had the announcement we knew
not
was
the match.
coming.
You mean the Gargano home video?
After the Gargano video, we had a match announcement for or a graphic.
Well, we had 2 announcements for next week.
Yeah.
So if we didn't have enough reason to look forward to next week, we are going to get the singles match between Mia Yim and Bianca Belair.
Yep.
So put Bianca Belair over, and then have her fight Nikki Cross, and finally have a finish to the match where she beats Nikki Cross too, stays undefeated, and then she is next in line when Kairi Sane maybe retains, and then because she's already starting to look like a heel. So just finish off the job, make her a heel, and then you can have her facing Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
I don't think she looks credible against Baszler, but if Kairi Sane gets the title back and Shayna Baszler gets called up to the main roster, then that looks good. Yeah. I like that. Next, we had the announcement for a singles match by William Regal. Now, this is what we alluded to earlier in the advantage for the War Games match.
Yep.
This match next week is going to be a singles match with some member, we still don't know, some member of the Undisputed Era versus a member of the other team, the Mishmash, the Dunn, Ricochet, and War Raiders team.
We come up with a team name for them before the next show.
Yeah, at least by the next show, because after that it'll be too late.
Yeah.
So they're going to have a singles match to determine who gets the advantage. I would assume by the advantage that means that is the first team that's going to have the other members join the match.
Yeah. They'll like the next person in the ring will be from that certain team.
Yeah.
So we have so many different variations of who could be in this match out of the 8 men participating. So which of the Undisputed Era and which of Team Ricochet would you want to see in the actual
Easy, and same answer that I gave you earlier.
Yeah,
I want to see Ricochet versus Roderick Strong.
Ricochet versus Roderick Strong all the way.
Yeah,
I have to agree with that because you have so many different ways Roderick Strong could probably throw on that backbreaker, and like Ricochet is going to take this guy a lot in that match.
Well, my first instinct was to go with Roderick Strong versus Pete Dunne, but I've already seen that match over and over and over and over and over again. So, or maybe just at least once.
As weird as it sounds, like you only watch him like bend people's fingers so much.
It's weird though that I go straight for Roderick Strong instead of Adam Cole.
Not really, because Adam Cole
He's the main eventer. You save him for the War Games.
Though entertaining, he's more or less the general of the group at this point.
Yeah.
Roderick Strong is...
He's Hogan. He doesn't get in the ring unless he has to.
Exactly. Yeah. He's more of the mouthpiece, more or less. He's the face of the group. So, Roderick Strong, I would say, is more of the muscle than anything else. And then you have Ricochet, who's like the leader, and it's just going to be an awesome pairing. If they make that match for next week, that's going to blow minds, is what it's going to do. Because Ricochet is nothing to sneeze at. He's been around for quite some time now. Like, I was watching a match with him in 2007 in Combat Zone Wrestling. That's 11 years ago, and this kid was already a natural pre-tattoos, weird Prince type throw, but he was already like pulling spots and just doing magical stuff, and he's only gotten better over the years. Roderick Strong, seasoned veteran, teamed up with his brother for a long time, Cedric, and struck out on his own and just became a huge success on all sorts of independent companies. Became the messiah of the backbreaker, can put it on anywhere, and he's also got his stronghold finisher and the sick kick. The sick kick is something that's always fun to watch too. It's pretty much the same as Drew McIntyre's finisher.
So is this you agreeing with me that it should be Ricochet versus Strong?
In much more words, yes. yes, 1,000 times yes. If that becomes that match, I'm already on the edge of my seat half the time watching this program anyway. I'll probably be sitting on the floor like a kid with a popcorn bowl. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
So no more video packages, awesome as they were. No more Kathy Kelly in varying outfits doing interviews backstage with people. We are on to the main event.
Yes.
And what a fucking main event this was.
Yep.
This was awesome.
It exceeded my expectations a lot, is what it did. Because first we saw Velveteen Dream getting prepped up for the match, and as you put it, he looked like the captain and Tennille in one. He's wearing this weird captain's jacket and the hat, but he's also wearing these pink tights with all his glitter.
Were they like furry tights? They
weren't furry.
They were soft looking.
They looked very fleece-like.
So this is what we were alluding to earlier as well. In that I was like, he might need to tone it down a little bit, just because. And take this for what it is. My dad was gay. I say was. He died. He looks so homosexual. He's always kind of pushed the line with his style. But he always sort of finds the line and stays behind it, not too flamboyant. Because, he doesn't want... He wants to look feminine without having the stigma of, well, is he gay or isn't... That's not the conversation. It's just his style, right? Yeah. This was a little bit past the line to me. And I've known lots of gay people. Yeah. So his response, which made total sense... And so I kind of retract everything that I said because it makes that much sense. Well, tell him your response.
Well, pretty much I told him it's more like a mental game than anything. It's so Lars sees him as less of a threat. So when he does actually come off with some of the great moves and all of his ability that he actually does have, it'll completely take Lars out of his game and surprise the shit out of him. So that's the whole idea. If he underestimates Velveteen Dream for even 5 seconds in this match, just be from the way he looks or from his entrance, whatnot, it's going to completely just blow his mind when Velveteen Dream leaves him looking up at the lights.
Yeah, because at this point, the only thing he was missing was like a mesh or a see-through top.
Yeah.
That was, cut off to show off his abs.
And chances are he owns like 8 of those anyway.
Maybe. I assume he's probably gone that direction with a gimmick. Get up or two.
And so we have this really drawn out and very, just very flamboyant entrance and whatnot from Velveteen
Followed
Dream.
by probably one of the scariest entrances that does not involve pyrotechnics in WWE right now.
They added a scream to the beginning of Lars.
Yeah, I put that down as notes. I wanted to make sure. Thank you for mentioning it because I had to back it up because he was chatting. We chat. So sometimes we get this video done a little later because we chat. But he was saying something and Lars' music hits and I'm like, wait, what was that? It was like because obviously he's several octaves below this, but he must have been right in that range of tone where I back it up. There's a scream that they have added to the beginning, right at the beginning of Lars' music, where that one tone hits that you know it's his. I like it.
Yes.
Because he looks like...
Because at that point, like, right when that scream hits, all you see is that orange light, or orangish reddish light hitting Lars on the stage, and everything else is just darkness.
And he's just standing there,
Yes.
serious as a heart attack, stone still. And my response was, he looks like a comic book supervillain.
Yes.
And his response was...
I quote Reservoir Dogs, like, Thing.
Yeah.
Motherfucker looks just like the Thing.
Wouldn't need makeup, wouldn't need costume. Well, he'd need a splash of orange paint. But yeah, he looks just like the Thing. And the silhouette that they do when he gets in the ring. They've got this bright-ass light shining, and they've got the camera pointed right at it. So all you see is white. The brightest white that your TV will produce. And then suddenly, boom, Lars' silhouette has pierced the light, and they pan backwards, and you just see Lars in his giant figure in this white silhouette.
Yes.
And it is just perfect for, as he said, the front of a t-shirt.
Yes. Just the white outline of Lars on the front, and on the back just have Lars.
Lars, not Lars Sullivan. This was my idea. When he gets called up to the main roster, which has got to be
Sullivan.
soon. No more Sullivan. Just do it now so you don't end up doing it like you did Rusev, where you get rid of Alexander. Or I think that was his first name. Or Cesaro, where they got rid of Antonio.
Yeah.
Just do it off the rip. Lars. You can't cut off Lars because there was too many Sullivans, especially, Kevin Sullivan.
Evad Sullivan.
So just Lars. Maybe make it a Z instead of an S so you can copyright it. Who knows? But Lars. And yeah, great. He looks amazing, domineering. He's a powerhouse. He looks like a monster without needing makeup.
Yeah. He's got that monster heel look just down perfectly. And the fact that if you just... like we've established, if you take away the Sullivan last name, it just gives him more of that,
Snitsky.
So, yeah, it just takes away.
Not Gene Snitsky, not it wasn't my fault. Snitsky, the fucking monster.
Yeah, you take away the more or less human value of him if you take away his last name.
Yeah, you take away his humanity.
Yes.
You can separate him, because giving him a last name makes him more human. He's not human. He's a fucking monster, and he looked like a monster. Although, Velveteen Dream, at the end of this, looked like he was going to pick up the win. He dropped him with, I think it was his version of a DDT.
It wasn't a DDT. It was almost like a rolling, burning hammer.
Yeah, okay, it's his version of a...
Death Valley Driver.
A DVD.
Yes.
Yeah. Who, by the way, I think Perry Saturn did the best Death Valley Driver. His looked like it would break your neck.
Yeah.
Fuck John Cena and the FU, the AA, the whatever, the release, the throw. No, that doesn't look like it hurts.
Tommy Dreamer had a really good one.
Well, yeah, but his wasn't as tight.
Oh,
Perry Saturn's looked like he pulls it in tight and he puts all of his body weight onto your neck.
What I really liked about Velveteen Dreams is the fact that he rolls completely with it. So naturally, all your body weight goes and hits the mat.
So maybe he trained with Perry Saturn.
Who knows?
Really, anything Velveteen Dream does looks good. So he goes to the top rope after this, looking for, or he goes to go to. Either way, fucking Ciampa comes out.
Yeah.
And this is what we feared, and I cussed him out, and I apologize for that, my friend. I cussed him out because he's so good at predicting stuff that when he predicts stuff I don't like, and then it looks like it's going to happen, his prediction was it was going to be a non-finish, that Ciampa was going to get involved and cause a double disqualification or whatever, or a no contest.
And Riddle was going to make it a triple threat match at TakeOver.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw Ciampa, I'm like, fuck you, man. Because by this point, I even told him, this match is so good, I want to see a finish. Because my prediction was going to be essentially a non-finish, where I thought Lars Sullivan was going to get too physical and get like a 5 count in the corner or something and get disqualified. So even I thought it was going to be a non-finish, but by this point in the match, it has been such a good match.
Yes.
That I'm like, I want to see a finish. Somebody needs a pinfall.
It was a lot back and forth, and we saw like just Velveteen Dream, not necessarily lawn darted, but thrown into that unforgiving ring apron.
Oh God, the drop that he did on him, that's like almost like John Cena's third move of doom.
Yeah,
where he
picks him up like he's going to do a backdrop, but then he just chucks him forward.
Yeah, he did this before where he just dropped him like right in front of him on the apron, which looked devastating enough. This one, he threw him away from him, like 3 feet away into the apron.
Yes.
And it looked really horrible. Like, horrible, painful. It looked really good.
It definitely, it's like, okay, this is where Velveteen Dream is going to lose.
He fought through the match.
Yeah.
And he had it won, if not for Ciampa.
Yep. Ciampa shows up and causes a distraction.
That's all it took, was a distraction.
It only took a few seconds.
Well, it was more than a distraction, because, I mean, he took him out. I can't remember if he came off the ropes or if he came off the apron, but he took out Ciampa.
Yeah, he
but as soon as he got back in the ring, he ate a freak accident, and that was it. Lars.
Yes,
Lars got the win. And I was surprised, but completely happy, because we got to finish this match.
And Lars leaves the ring.
Yes, his business is done.
But he looks like he took a hell of a beating. He's holding his arm. He's trying to celebrate and just throw his arms up in victory, but you can see he is aching. Velveteen Dream fucked him up, is what he did. He caught him completely off guard with the offense. And the fact that he just would not stay down.
He wouldn't stay down
for the longest time.
He couldn't
power
be pinned.
move after power move.
Yeah.
He would not stay down.
And he was it Lars? He had him for the was it the triangle lock?
Yep.
And it looked like Lars Sullivan either wasn't going to be able to power him up or was just going to end up passing out. But eventually he got him up and got him into that single arm power bomb. This match made Velveteen Dream look good. It made him look good in the finish because it was off a distraction. And then the ending of this main event was not the ending of the match. Because if you notice, he said Lars Sullivan left. Ciampa didn't leave.
No.
Ciampa just gracefully gets into the ring. And he stares down his opponent for War Games.
Yes. And from there starts a little bit of a beatdown, more verbal beatdown than anything else. Just because at that point, Velveteen Dream is just still creamed from the freak accident a little while.
Well, I think we were planning on he was planning on giving everybody a proper beatdown to watch, but he was too cocky. He was too assured that Velveteen Dream was that taken out by the match and by the freak accident. Velveteen Dream gets back up.
Yep.
And he ends up taking out Ciampa, who had set up, was it the title?
Yep, he had set it up like he was going to pile drive him onto it, looked like.
And Velveteen Dream ends up putting him through the title, and then starts going to the top rope. He's going to come off with the, whatever he calls it, the elbow, the Macho Man elbow.
Yeah, the Macho,
but 2/3 way across the ring, as far as he can nail it. And this is when we have not all the refs.
Almost all the referees.
Almost all the refs. He's like, where's Drake? I'm like, dude, come on. Drake, he was a wrestler. He looks like a wrestler. If he comes out there, he should be able to get Ciampa to stop, maybe. So you got to have all the weak-looking guys.
Dream stop.
Or, I'm sorry, yes, Velveteen Dream. Because they briefly get Velveteen Dream to look like he's not going to do it, but as soon as they let their guard down, he goes to the top rope and he hits a beautiful elbow drop and grabs the title and looks victorious, even though this wasn't a match with him and Ciampa. He looks like a credible contender. He stands tall, so by WWE logic, I would say Ciampa retains.
Yep.
So,
but here's the thing with this: we have to talk about your new spelling.
Oh yes,
yes.
So our guess is Ciampa is going to probably retain. Well, at least that's my guess. That we'll see if that's our official predictions later. My guess is Ciampa's going to hold the title for a while. And if he's going to be this dominant heel champ, what better heel thing to do than his name's already so damn close. Sounds like it. Change your last name to Ciampa, Champa.
Yes.
And there's so many ways you can go with this. Now that you're going to, you know, publicly like acknowledge the fact that his last name sounds like champ. Play with it, you know, I am the champ. You know, something like that. I'm sure better writers can come up with better phrases, or Ciampa himself,
or you forget John Cena. The Ciampa is here.
Yeah. So that was my idea. I think Ciampa needs to legally change his last name,
and it'd be perfect
H
on the shirt that he's got currently out too. It's just the fact that you just have to change the I to the H, and it would just look perfect on there. But yeah.
So this was the end of the... I honestly thought we were going to see either Regal come out and announce that it was going to end up being a triple threat match because of Sullivan's win and because of Ciampa getting involved causing the win. We didn't see that. All we saw was Velveteen Dream standing tall, looking like he might win the title when, in fact, he probably won't. Unless they have plans on Ciampa being called up soon. I don't see Ciampa losing the title to somebody like Velveteen Dream. As much as I think Velveteen Dream deserves it, just not yet.
Yeah. All right. So we consider that the main event naturally. The
final
the final match and the I'd say the epilogue.
It's all part of the match.
Yeah.
It's the final chapter of the show. The final
final segment.
It's a vignette. The final balsamic vignette. Solid.
Salad.
So, in the General's 5-star rating system, as we do for all main events, and we will do tomorrow night with my system, it's based on 5 liters into a gallon of tea. We might start doing just 5 spots of tea, and fuck it making sense. It's just out of 5 spots of tea. It sounds so much better. But for tonight, the General's 5-star rating system is what we go by.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Slaughter.
Yes.
Where do you rate this?
I definitely rank it at least a 4, because like it has to at least be a 4 because the match went back and forth so much, and like I said, there's a lot more head games going into it than anything else. I like any match where the monster heel completely underestimates his opponent, and for his opponent to put like such a beat down on him, but still come out almost on top. Kind of like the Undertaker Jeff Hardy ladder match that we were discussing not too long ago. Is the fact that Undertaker still went over in the match, but Jeff Hardy put such a hell of a fight that you had no choice but to A, take him as a viable contender for the belt, and B, get respect from the crowd, and C, also possibly even get respect from Lars. He'll never admit to it, but he took a hell of a beating in that match. It shows, and the outcome of the match with Velveteen Dream losing, I wasn't mad about it. I think it gave him a little bit of a sympathy thing from the fans, which is good too. And then right after that, though, you had the assault from Ciampa, and him bouncing right back into it just to spit in Ciampa's face. Like, it's like, you think I'm done? I'm not even remotely done yet. It's like, I took all that, and then I'm taking you out. What else do you have?
Yeah, I'm coming for your title, bitch.
If you weren't taking Velveteen Dream seriously, you were after this match, and
absolutely,
I think that's exactly what they were going for in this match. I don't think they were going to, just have this match be a throwaway in any way, shape, or form. It delivered where I thought it was going to deliver. It had a definitive finish with very little interference. Ciampa just showed up, but he didn't get into the match, so you
didn't make it.
You didn't really have much foul play in it. It was just a very vicious assault from start to finish. 4-star match, solid main event for just a weekly show. I enjoyed it.
So you're going solid 4 stars?
Yes.
Because you had said at least 4 stars. So
yeah, I'm going to go with solid 4 on that one.
To me, this main event, and I say main event because it's not just the match, because everything was great. Because
Yes.
the match was great. It told a good story, and especially up through the end of the match. And as you said, Lars Sullivan was still selling that he underestimated Velveteen Dream, and really, Velveteen Dream just looks that good to where even if he correctly estimated Velveteen Dream, he was still better than he thought he was going to be.
Yes.
And this segment had 3 participants, other than the ref, other than the commentators, and blah, blah, blah. It had 3 participants because you also had Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
And he looked good. Because he looked like he got cut off at the pass on the way to interfere. So it didn't really make him look bad to get taken out. And then when he did get in the ring and he was trying to lay a beat down, he still looked good.
Yeah.
He just got taken out, and Velveteen Dream looked good even though he lost. Of course, Lars Sullivan looked good. He won, even though he was selling.
There was nothing but winners in this match.
Yeah, we all won. Everybody won. Instead of video packages, this week everybody wins.
Yeah, everybody wins in this match.
I was thinking 4 stars, but honestly, I think I like this segment. And as much as you said I think I like this segment more than you did. So I got to give it 4 1/4.
Yeah, just
on that premise alone, I'd give it 4 1/8 if that sounded like it made any goddamn sense. But bad enough we go with quarters.
On your amplifier, you went from 10 to 11.
I mean, I was gonna give it a solid 4, but then you said solid 4, and I'm like, damn it, I like this whole thing better than you.
But yeah,
that's me. I'm that guy. So I give it 4 1/4.
Yeah,
this was great. It was you know what?
It told
Fuck
us
that. I give it 4 1/2 because when you put it together with the rest of the show,
yeah,
the lack of video packages all the way up until the fucking crown moment of video packages.
Yeah,
the best video package I've probably ever seen.
Yep,
that might be overstating it, but a really fucking good one nonetheless.
Yeah.
Given the rest of the show, like, the rest of the show really does highlight. It's like, you know, the trail of a shooting star, you know, it so highlights. I'm giving it 4 1/2.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 4 1/2. This was a great episode. If What's NXT is the only thing you actually watch of NXT, and you don't really watch the show, if there was one full episode for us to recommend you watch, and I know we've said there's been a lot of great... This has been the best episode of NXT I've seen since we've done this.
That's what I think I also like about this, is the fact that, like, it recapped things so well that you could, even as a new viewer, they told such great stories.
Yeah, you're going to be invested whether this is the first time you watch NXT or you see these people before.
Yeah. You'll be able to say, it's like, wow, I already feel like I know what's going on because... It's just so well told and so well portrayed and everything. It's just perfect.
What did we have? We had 2 spots, 1 spot apiece in here that we didn't like. I didn't like Cassius Ohno. I thought he sucked the coolness out of the room. He cooled off the whole segment, but it was very brief. What was yours?
The head.
I'm trying to look
back. The head baddie in charge. I hated that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the head baddie. That was the one. That kind of irked me, too.
Well, even then, like, Shad Gaspard, when he was in OVW, after he had turned on the neighborhood, JTG,
yeah,
he was going by the head, and then they'd bleep out in charge, and his shirt would actually say HNIC. So... It was like you automatically knew what he was saying. That's something else you can do. If you're going to use bitch, just bleep it out.
Bleep it out.
Or just put the little pixelated thing over
use
her
the word
mouth.
broad. That's what I would... Head broad in charge.
Yeah, head broad in charge.
Nobody's used that term in so long. You could probably take it back. Yeah, reclaim that word. Reclaim the word broad.
Well, actually, that actually would be pretty cool because then you could set up with Lacey Evans.
Oh, let's not get into why Lacey Evans should not be from the 1950s.
Yeah,
she shouldn't, or 1920s or 30, whatever her 50, outfit gimmick is. She shouldn't. She should be modern, but with the same idea. That's just my thing. I'm like, well, why does it have to? Because there's plenty of modern Feminism.
Because I didn't even think about that, the whole head broad in charge thing. Or
Head broad
like,
in charge.
But like have her think that's a derogatory term towards women, and that's how a feud with her and Mia Yim would start.
So, on that note, I want to remind everybody that we will be hosting our NXT party tomorrow. I don't know when the video will be up. Honestly, I don't know when this video is going to be up. But this one will go up on Thursday. NXT party will go up on Friday. And again, we will be having the same special guest that we had last week. We're going to have Cindy G join us again to give her thoughts on Episode 5 and Episode 6 of NXT UK. And if you want to be on our show, we are going to have a fan on next week. Next Wednesday's episode, which will go up on next Friday, we will have Owen Finch.
Yeah.
He will be joining us to give probably his thoughts on Episode 7 and Episode 8 of NXT. So those will probably be long shows for a few weeks until they get caught up.
Yeah.
But until then, you guys let us know if you want to be on our show. We want to make it an NXT party every week and have a special guest. And we would like our special guests to be you guys, the fans. Get your take on NXT that week. And just find me on Twitter. That's my cheap plug. My Twitter, that's Stefan, STEFAN, Osborne, OSBORNE. And that's at Twitter. Or you can just go to nodq.com/Stefan. And that'll take you directly to my Twitter page. This guy here and I are both on Facebook. We don't plug our Facebooks, but you can find us on Armbar. That is his baby, his brainchild. It's just a wrestling group. You can talk to each other. You can share memes. You can talk to us. Just tag us on there. And that's all capital letters, ARMBAR, exclamation point. And on that note, I am, of course, Stefan Osborne, the Wizard of No DQ. This is the General, Jerry Slaughter. And we thank you for joining us. Please join us next week. And we'll see you NXT time.